Three, two, one. And we're live. Oh, good evening. This is Angela with another edition of Notes on the News, where I share with you headlines from my news feed. My thing is plugged in, so it's twisting. I share with you headlines from my news feed. Welcome in the chat. And thoughts, ideas, perspective on those headlines, and also the subject matter at large, and also the article, if we've read it or skimmed it, or maybe none of that, or some combination of those things. But it's not news, it's just my notes on the news. I'm Angela, and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Thank you for being here, liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting that notifications bell, and all of those other wonderful things that you do that support the channel and the growth of the channel, and just let us know we here. Yay! All right. Habaragani. Habaragani. Was yesterday Kuji Chagalia? I think yesterday was Kuji Chagalia. So if yesterday was Peace, I see what's up. If yesterday was Kuji Chagalia, then today is, of course, hey Ron Redbird 101. Hey Kendra. If yesterday was Kuji Chagalia, then today, of course, is Ujima, collective work and responsibility. And yesterday we discovered, I discovered that this site actually has a little essay. It's not just this little paragraph. So let's kick it. Let's hit this essay and see what they're talking about. Ujima. To build and maintain our community together, and to make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems, and to solve them together. The third principle is Ujima, which is a commitment to active and informed togetherness on matters of common interest. Active and informed togetherness. Hey, Leotis, on matters of common interest. It is also recognition and respect of the fact that without collective work and struggle, progress is impossible and liberation is unthinkable. Wow. It is also recognition. It is also recognition and respect of the fact that without collective work and struggle, progress is impossible and liberation is unthinkable. We ain't gonna get out of this alone. You gotta work together collectively. Sonia sees, hey. Moreover, the principle of Ujima supports the fundamental assumption that African is not just an identity, but also a destiny and a duty. Damn, they said African is not just an identity, but a destiny and a duty. That's like how hey, the underrated darkness. That's like how people go to Mecca. Like it's a destination, it's a place that you go, and it's a duty and a responsibility. As I understand it, if you can afford it, you have to go to Mecca. That's what you're supposed to do. You can't not go to Mecca if you can afford to go to Mecca. So they like, if you got to go to Africa, what you doing? Where else you going? If not Africa, where? If not you, who? Hey, the real Aaron Collins or T-Rack. So that's sort of that's okay. In other words, our collective identity in the long run is a collective future. Our collective identity is a collective future. Thus, there is a need and an obligation for us as self-conscious and committed people to shape our future with our own minds and hands and share its hardships and benefits together. Ujima, as principle and practice, also means that we accept the fact that we are collectively responsible for our failures and setbacks, as well as our victories and achievements. And this also holds on the level of family and organization or smaller units. Such a commitment implies and encourages a vigorous capacity for self-criticism and self-correction. Hey, Max Evans, how are you? Wow. Which is indispensable to our strength, defense, and development as a people. A vigorous capacity for self-criticism and self-correction. Whoa, that's deep. You have a vigorous capacity for self criticism and self correction. The principle of collective work and responsibility also points to the fact that African freedom is indivisible. It shelters the assumption that as long as any African anywhere is oppressed, exploited, enslaved, or wounded in any way, in his or her humanity, all African people are. It thus rejects the possibility or desirability of individual freedom in any free context. If you ain't free, ain't none of us free. Don't forget to hit your thumbs up button on your way in the door. Hit the thumbs up button. Whoa, we talking about Ujima or reading this essay. Wow. Dang, this is interesting. Um Moreover, Ujima respects escapism and abstract humanism and supports the humanism that begins with commitment to and concern for the humans among whom we live and to whom we owe our existence, i.e., our own people. In a word, real humanism begins with accepting one's own humanity in the particular form in which exchanges with others in the context of our common humanity. It also posits that the liberation struggle to rescue and reconstruct African history and humanity is a significant contribution to overall struggle for human liberation. I'm reading from a site called endarkment.com, and this is in the section on Kwanzaa and Nguzo Saba Ujima. Dang, it's a long. Oh, it's not that long. Okay, we got another paragraph. We can bake it. Unity is key. Yes. Yes. Finally, collective work and responsibility can be seen in terms of the challenge of culture and history. Work, both personal and collective, is truly at the center of history and culture. It is the fundamental activity by which we create ourselves, define and develop ourselves, and confirm ourselves in the process as both persons and a people. In your 64 Impala, no others are human but Black people. Um, It is for this reason, among others, that the Holocaust of enslavement was so devastating. For not only did it destroy tens of millions of lives, which is morally monstrous in itself, it also destroyed great cultural achievements, created technological and cultural arrests, and thus eroded and limited the human possibility Africa offered the world. In fact, the effects of this Holocaust are present even today, both in terms of the problems of the continent and those of the diaspora. The challenge of history and culture, then, is through collective work and responsibility to restore that which was damaged or destroyed and to raise up and reconstruct that which was in ruins, as the ancient Egyptians taught. It is also to remember that we are each cultural representations of our people and have no right to misrepresent them or willfully do less than is demanded of us by our history, and must accept and live the principle of shared collective work and responsibility in all things good, right, and beneficial to the community. In all things good, right, and beneficial to the community. Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna have to loop back through these because this is something to digest and marinate and you know let it vibe with you. We gonna come back and talk about this. Okay, so Ujima TV antenna. All right, collective work and responsibility. Yo, Buddha, what up though? Yo, where you at? Where you at? Where's you at, Buddha? uh 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 uh, okay, so now we move on to the Yo, Buddha, what up though segment. Let no one deceive another or despise anyone anywhere, or through anger or irritation wish for another to suffer. Let no one deceive another. Don't be out here lying. Don't be out here despising nobody. Don't get angry or irritated. Don't wish ill will on nobody. Just focus on doing what you're doing for you. Let the universe take care of everything else. Do you? Not even Ayapo. No, not even Ayapo. All right, so let's see what's up on the news feed. Uh, 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 where you been, Leotis? I'll come scoop you up. Fact check. America has been splitting up families throughout its history. For some reason, I saw someplace, I think we already talked about it, but somebody was kind of talking about the whole foster care system in the context of separating Black folks from, their children. And so, like now, every time I see these stories, it just kind of has me thinking about it just has me kind of thinking about, the foster care system. And I guess, throughout the history of this country, there have been all kinds of systems and not just this country, but throughout colonialism in the world. Someone I read someplace, maybe like somebody tweeted, they're like, it's not, the idea is to like that's colonialism does the demoralization of people. And when you demoralize a people, you demoralize them through the generations. That's how colonialism works, how imperialism works. And so the separating of a mother from a child, of children from their culture, of people from their culture, of people from their people, that's about demoralization. So they just doing what they do. That's what they've been doing. Indians got it worse with foster care. Indians get it worse with foster care. Yeah. And they had that whole thing where they, separated those kids out, native children out and sent them to boarding schools. And I mean, but it's been, I was read, we read an article the other day about, was it in Ireland? But anyway, and then just the idea, I was talking about it earlier today, but I was listening and they were talking about how the images that we're seeing of these children are all boy children. Like, where are the girl children? They're like, nobody has seen images of the girl children. And I'm like, is that true? Where are the girl children? What's going on? It's kind of stressing me out because, a Zero, especially when he first came on the scene, he was like all on this pedophilia thing. As far as I was concerned, there was some 13-year-old girl who had come out and said that he had told her that he would make her a famous model. And then she kind of disappeared. Her story was retracted. I don't care about Indians. They hate Black people. Then there was that's not me speaking. I was reading somebody's comment. Then there was his friend who he was like, oh, he's a very good guy, but he was like a convicted pedophile. See, I think even in the context when we were talking about Ujima and the collective working responsibility, and I think that I heard somebody say it today, like if you're not here for justice and rightness for all people, then what are you here for? You can't just you are personally hurting, and that's standing up for rightness and justice and truth, period, then what are we doing? And I feel like what other people do, that doesn't determine who I am and what my value system is. What determines who I am and what my value system is me. I determine that. I'm not sitting around waiting for you to behave or not behave in a certain way for me to determine who I am and how I move in the world. So right, so he was like that was his friend and he's a pedophile. So and then it kind of like all of that stuff disappeared, but now I'm kind of like, is it true? Have there been no images of the girl children? Yeah, it's kind of bad. But I mean, not to, yeah, it's bad and it's been bad and it's been bad for us, it's been bad for other people. It's not good. It's not good. Birthplace of singer activist Nina Simone to be preserved. The ones from India or the people Columbus wrongly called Indians when he got to the Americas? You asking Leotis or me? I assume he was referring to Native folks, but I'm not sure. Was it Leotis? I'm not sure. A lot of Indians refer to themselves as Injuns. Injuns, Injuns. Americans. You or Leotis. What did you get your answer? The native folks, when Columbus arrived, were copper colored. I don't think you have to wait for somebody to stand up for you to determine who you are. I feel like you determine who you are based on who you are. That has nothing to do with anybody else. So I think what somebody else does is secondary to what you do. Copper colored lives called First Nation people in Canada. So I disagree, but I mean, hey, we all, you do you. If that's, if that makes sense to you, and I what okay. Birthplace of singer activist Nina Simone to be preserved. I love me some Nina Simone. I like her conscious songs. I like her blues songs. I like her voice. I like the tonality. I like how it's like she's Hey, I like there's like a feeling, there's an emotion, there's a vibe you get, from even though personally I have some challenges with what I know about her, but I like her work in spite of it. Cause I was like, I'm leaving Nina Simone alone, but I couldn't. Oh wow. So this is the birthplace of Nina Simone. Can y'all see it? Wish my piano skills were as good as hers. Right, because she was like classically trained or something. I don't know. I don't know nothing about the musical aspect. I just know how I feel and how I like how her voice sounds. And then it's like just song after song after song. And a lot of her songs are covers, but I can't even listen to nobody else sing them. What state was she born in? You have a guess? The dilapidated wooden cottage in North Carolina, the black skinned Indians have disappeared, was the birthplace of singer and civil rights activist Nina Simone, and now has the protection of the National Trust for Historic Preservation. The trust said in a news release Tuesday that it will develop and find a new use for the home in Tyron, where Nina Simone was born in 1933. Last year, 4 African American artists purchased the home, but I have many pictures of them on my computer. North Carolina. She was a swirler though. Yeah. And she was like, to me, again, the vibration. I didn't meet her personally, but what I've read, I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. Yes. North. North Carolina. Oh, North Carolina. That's what you typed in. Yeah, I feel like Baltimore. I feel like, hey, I tried to there's a rabbit running across the yard. Like just a brown rabbit. Like not even running because I could see it. Red Robin. I tried to not like her. I did. When I read her, I guess it was a biography. I was like, ew, I don't like her, but I love her. I love her through that. I just, that's how it is too. It's some people whose stuff you just can't get over, and then there's some people whose stuff you can, and that's just, that's why some people you cool with, and some people, hey, Bella, the people said hello. I see, said hi. Um, Surviving homophobia. Her talent was unquestioned. She was pretty jacked up. Yeah, and I was gonna say she was in so much pain about, be very quiet, Sister Angela hunting wabbits. Sister Angela hunting wabbits. Be very, very quiet. I did that. Surviving homophobia, why black queer folks aren't the enemy. Now, this headline was interesting to me because I kind of feel like sometimes when I listen to people talk about like coons and I hate coons or whatever, I kind of feel like of all of the if I were to categorize myself as having an enemy, I think my enemy is like whiteism, rich white men with property and power. Like I just don't feel like black people are like high up on my list of enemies. I don't know if that's ignorant. I don't know if that's unsophisticated, but I just kind of feel like that's not really in my analysis. So I don't know, sometimes I just feel like it's a lot of hostility out here toward people. Um, so that's all that just caught my attention. Outrage after paramedics put sheet. Now I don't know this story. Stop it. I don't know this story, but I've seen the headline, so I'm kind of gathering what's going on a little bit. Outrage after paramedics put sheet over teen shot in the head. So we got a teen shot in the head who later died at the hospital. So they done shot the child in the head. Then they put a sheet on him. The child ain't dead, and the child later on died at the hospital. So people are really upset. I think the last headline I saw before this one, they were kind of talking about the fact that people were upset that they, put the sheet over the child and the child was not dead. Um, yeah, it's very disturbing. Um, yeah, it's um, it's very disturbing. So just, peace out to that young person who made their transition, into their family, into their community, into all of us. May that child rest in peace. Um, and just, again, may, injustice inspire us all to rise up in justice and properness and truth and rightness, and to stand for and fight for truth and justice and righteousness. So yeah, that whole Zoe Saldana thing, these race soldiers are out of control. Yeah. That whole Zoe Saldana thing playing Nina Simone was kind of interesting because I feel like it's so wrong. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I feel like that whole Zoe Saldana thing was interesting because I feel like as an actor, you know, Leslie Jones would have done a better job. I feel like as an actor, a lot of times I get roles or I've done work where I'm like, I can't, I may not have the talent or ability to do the work, but I'm excited to have the opportunity to grow and develop and try. Um, and I feel like a lot of times you get roles, and like we see it like that, like there's this movie out about the first openly black Supreme Court justice. And the first openly black Supreme Court justice, as I understand it, was almost white or white passing, but they have a dark skinned person playing him. Now, nobody complained about that. They had a dark skinned person playing Malcolm X, and nobody really Denzel Washington played Malcolm X. And I don't think that they're the same skin tone. Nobody complained about that. I feel like as an actor, like there's a lot to a person other than just skin tone. They could have gotten Viola Davis to play. So I kind of felt a way when I heard about it, in terms of, as an actor, I wouldn't, if somebody offered me a role and I wanted to do it, I would be happy and excited to do it. Um, you know, I kind of feel like the reason that I don't feel like the issue was the actress. I feel like the issue was the production. Right. Now, then also Zoe does have that attitude where she's like, or I guess her perspective and take on the world that I don't necessarily appreciate, seems to be like, oh, she's a human being. She doesn't really have a lot of attachment to her identity as a black person. She seems more to identify strongly with other things. So, yeah, I don't necessarily appreciate that. I feel like she felt attacked and she kind of handled it in a janky way. But it's hard when people attack you. She's only black when convenient. Oh, was she ever black? I didn't even know she was black. I thought she was brown on occasion, but I don't follow her that closely. Um, but I just feel like, for all of the talented black skin actresses out here, and I don't think of her as Zoe Saldana is like a talented actress. I don't know. I haven't paid close attention to her work, but there are a lot of talented black skin, dark skin people out here. But it's like, why wouldn't you get, somebody like that? But then I feel like Hollywood is a business, or like all of this stuff is a business. And so they're trying to, she's an alien in all her movie roles. I think I saw her in a film. They're trying to get people who they think they can make money off of. I think I saw her play like her parents had been kidnapped or killed by the mob or the Colombian mafia, and she was killing people, or assassin. I don't know. I can't even remember the movie. It was okay. I mean, it was probably, I don't know. But Yeah, then the makeup that they put on her, and then I feel like that's kind of challenging too, because sometimes you might look at something in the mirror and be like, she did Rosemary's Baby. Of course, the husband was white. Hollywood is very Colombiana, right? That's that movie. We should have made Sanaa our sex symbol back in the day instead of Holly Weird. I ain't make Hallie my sex symbol. But yeah, yeah. And somebody told me the reason they picked her is because she's the best actress out here. I'm like, but that's a whole nother story. Avatar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw Avatar. She was blue. No, she isn't. Zoe Saldana was in the movie with Nick Cannon. I don't know if I saw that movie. Hey, August Dreams. So anyway, um, yeah. Mhm. But Drumline. Oh, I saw Drum. I think I saw Drumline. I guess I saw Drumline. I think I saw Drumline. I don't really remember her. Star Trek Spock's girlfriend. Hey, chat room. Okay, let me stay focused. Um, yeah. Jeff Sessions could get kicked out of the Methodist Church over border separation of migrant families. This was kind of interesting to me because I feel like if I'm a religious organization, now not that look at it as slavery, Guardians of the Galaxy. Not that I'm like a fan of Jefferson Beauregard Sessions. But I kind of feel like if I'm a religion, if I'm like if I'm in the business of being a church and a religion, I don't really necessarily understand the concept of kicking people out. Because I kind of feel like, can people get redemption? Can people grow? Can you support them in their growth and development? Can you challenge people? Do you feel like, well, some people are just pieces of boo boo, and so we throw them out? We can't do nothing with them. They're beyond hope and redemption. We can't pray for them. We can't. I don't know. That just seems kind of like unchurch-like to me. But I haven't been involved with organized religion for a while. And maybe they just figure, he would have to come back and repent before they could. I don't know. But I was just kind of like, I mean, it does seem kind of weird when all of these church people get up and are like, we're doing God's work to torture and terrorize people. That's real jacked up, and it's confusing to me as all. The Keebler elf is a hardcore racist. Yes, he is. I wish we could kick folk out. I think that sounds great. Y'all be forever on Twitter. They can't come to the family picnic. But I mean, it's just kind of confusing to me. I don't know. I feel like in my personal life, I don't know. I mean, like a lot of times I try to think of things personally and then abstract it to an organizational level. Yesterday was the last day of slavery in Galveston, Texas. You talking about Juneteenth, Kendrick? We talked a little bit about Juneteenth yesterday. But I don't think that slavery actually ended in this country. I think slavery is ongoing. She plays Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy films. I don't think I've ever seen a Guardians of the Galaxy film. So anyway, that was an interesting headline, because I mean, I feel like personally I would have kicked his ass to the curb a long time ago, like, or if he ever got to the or off the curb or whatever. But it just evolved into something different. So I don't know, I don't know. We got Slavery the remix, y'all. Yeah, we got Slavery the remix, and it's not good either. The original version was jacked up, and all of the remixes have been jacked up too. We reject them all, and we not dancing to this shit. Okay. How to look and feel healthier in 1 month according to science. You feel like you want to look and feel, the better way to say it is just the methodology changed. Yeah. Yeah. The simplest, most slavery 4.2, right? The simplest, most effective thing you can do for your health is get moving. Even 1 minute, un momento of intense all-out exercise done regularly can improve your fitness level. That's what I should do. I should just like run like for just 1 minute. I remember when I used to go to the gym and I try to do it on those exercise bikes. The prison system, laws, judge, pigs, jury all work together to keep us in chains. Yes. Housing, education, the food industry, Hollywood, media. These Caucasoids are fighting tooth and nail to bring it back. Yes, they are. Becky Ann's prisons. Whose prisons? I ran for a minute, then I ducked into an alley and watched the cops pass me by. Leotis was out. Oh, Leotis out was year 1865. Okay. So, okay, run just, or, all out for 1 minute. 1 minute is really a short amount of time. But when I would do it at the gym, I think I tried to do more than a minute. I can't remember now. But that was wear my behind out. It was like, oh my gosh. I don't like all of that, running and sweating. And now the only thing that I do like is when I took like dance classes. Like in that context, for some reason I do like it. And I remember one time I took this, no, me running and getting shot. I took this, one of my West African dance classes. We had a master teacher come in, and he was old. He didn't dance. And it's kind of amazing. It wasn't Zumba. I took one Zumba class. I didn't like it. I don't think I liked the choreography, what they were doing. I was not excited. I was like, this is corny. And I was too distracted to, like, if you go to a party and you just dancing and you hot and tired and you keep dancing because you having fun, even though you hot and you sweaty, running is good for the heart. Yeah, they say that cardio is good. Go to hell, Zumba. That's right. They say that cardio is good. They say cardio, stretching, and weight training. I can do some weight training. I can do some stretching, but that cardio is a challenge for me. It's a challenge. Like I could ride a bike 5-10 miles. That ain't nothing, but I'm not gonna be speed riding a bike. I can walk 5 or 10 miles. That ain't nothing. You have to take a class with me. I don't do that Zumba choreo. Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. The idea of Zumba sounded good. But when I went to a class, I'm like, no, I pass. Boo. But when I had that master class, that's what I was gonna say. That instructor, now he didn't dance. But I promise you, I was like, I would do the progression across the floor, and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so tired, but I want more. I did not want the class. It's like now I understand a master class. Before that, I didn't really get the concept and plus he wasn't even dancing, but it was like he was just talented. It was a master class. It was wonderful. Yeah, I go at my pace. I do power yoga. It's pretty tough. Oh, I used to take this yoga and at this studio in New York that was like, I did the sunrise class, and it would be like you leave there like, oh, because you was just moving and working the whole time. But I can't remember it wasn't Berkram. I don't remember what it was, what the studio was, but yeah, that's cool. I ain't taking no prisoners. Okay. Becoming physically active changes your body quickly and can even changes your chance of death. After 2 to 4 weeks, your nervous system is much more efficient at being able to contact your muscles. Scientists have found, so they're saying that's good. When it comes to your plate, consider cutting back on salty processed foods. Most Americans are consuming 50% or more of their daily recommended salt intake. This can take a toll. Instead of salty snacks, try incorporating more whole foods like bananas and avocados into your diet this month, since these are loaded with potassium, a natural antidote to sodium's harmful effects on your blood pressure. There are plenty for boosters, including like lemon juice and herbs. Oh, I love lemon juice. Whatever strategy you choose, avoid processed foods, which not only have lots of hidden salt, but may also be linked to cancer rates. Yeah, go to the gym. Yum. Oh, look at this picture. Befriend fiber. Can y'all see that? Look at those carrots and the composition. It's kind of weird, but I like it. Okay. Fibrous foods help keep your energy levels more stable. Quick burning, sugary, or carb heavy fixes. Fiber also keeps your tummy full and your digestive system humming along smoothly. There's a lot of fiber in whole grains, fruits, nuts, and vegetables. A lot of the best high fat fiber foods have a low glycemic index, which could spare you from suffering sugar crash. It could put extra stress on your heart. Just a week without enough sleep, defined as for 4 nights of 6 night, as 4 hours a night for 6 nights in a row can cause blood sugar levels to spike. Okay, so sleep. Stay hydrated with plenty of water, and maybe even, oh no, just stay hydrated with plenty of water. Oh, look at that. Baby's drinking out of water fountain. Who uses water fountains? It seems like we should go back to water fountains in our own containers. You don't know where that water supply is coming from. To improve your complexion, oh, we not reading that one. The ones we don't agree with, we not gonna read them. What's she gonna do if she see a coon? Attack. Health isn't just about your physical body. Your mood is important. 2 50-minute sections of aerobic exercise per week is enough to boost your mood. Consider giving meditation a try too. I'm a meditator. Are you? Scientific research on meditation is still evolving, but if you're looking to reduce anxiety, keep your blood pressure in check, or lower your stress levels, you might want to give it a go. The National Institute of Health says meditation may reduce blood pressures, symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. You had a weird dream last night. Anxiety and depression and insomnia. If consider an afternoon nap. Oh, if you're after productivity, consider an afternoon nap, but don't make your snooze session too long. Be emotionally honest with yourself. Remember that it's all right to not feel great all the time. That woman who had that accessory line who killed herself, they say, or whatever, the rumor has it, and she was saying how her brand was like happy, but so she didn't want to go get help. I keep thinking about that. Now I saw someplace where her company is donating a bunch of money to like mental health issues, Kate Spade. But I kind of feel like, I don't know, like it seems kind of immature to not to be like, oh, I'm just happy all the time. Like if you're not, I don't know. Like I just keep thinking about that. I haven't really, yeah. Spend a little time each week visualizing your best possible future self. Spend a little time each week visualizing your best possible future self. You have a vision board, you have a vision poster, you do affirmations. What you out here doing? You write a love letter to yourself. How you visualize in your best possible future. A 1998 study of nearly 300 high school students revealed that teens who imagined themselves achieving as a result of hard work did better academically and were more persistent. A study of more than 60 undergrads found that a month spent regularly contemplating what your best possible future self might look like boosted students' moods significantly and immediately. But if you're looking for the best way to thrive long term, relationships are the key to lasting wellness. Oh, wow. Look at that image. I would write a love letter to myself, but I don't want to lead me on. You're silly. Nurturing your most intimate partnerships with others is critical. An 80-year study of more than 250 men who were sophomores at Harvard during the Great Depression, the results suggested that close, nurturing relationships were more important to long-lasting happiness than wealth, intelligence, or even genetics. Good relationships don't just protect our bodies, they protect our brains. It takes time to create change. All right. So there you go. What it takes to become an Emirates or whatever flight attendant, like the UAE flight attendant. I guess that's like a prestigious job, although yeah, okay. So when I saw how much they made, I'm like, what? I thought at first I was like, oh, I could be a flight attendant years ago. And it was kind of exciting because one of my friends was telling me about the flight benefits and how she used to, we were in business for a minute together. And we were just talking about import, export, and especially since I had been to India. And it was like, oh my gosh, when I went, I didn't know Like if I had known, I would have got people, I would have had people investing because I would have been coming back with a whole bunch of stuff. Because it was like all kinds of little stuff you could get over there cheap and sell over here, buy low, sell high. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. So I was like, oh my God, if I could get on a plane and be flying for free all over the world, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But then I was kind of freaked out about the whole petri dish, like being on the plane and you like inhaling everybody's air again and again and again, and then moving fast like that. It kind of freaked me out too, like all the time. It's cool to get on a plane, you know, periodically, but like as your job, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I would like flight benefits. What other are there any benefits that are better than flight benefits? I don't think so. Just eat well. Who needs health insurance? City where many enslaved Africans entered U.S. to apologize for slavery. What was that city? Did y'all know what it was? I didn't even know what it was. Flight with benefits. White folks be loving them rappers. So the city, cashback benefits, LOL. Yeah. South Carolina, South Kakalaki City, where almost half of all the enslaved Africans brought to the United States first set foot on American soil, is ready to apologize. Charlottesville, yep, Charlotteston. The resolution, look at this image. They got the sepia tones and everything. South Carolina. Apologies must be accompanied by payments. Expected to be passed by the city council on Tuesday. That was yesterday. They were trying to do it on Juneteenth Day. The vote will be full of symbolism when it's taken by on City Hall. That was whatever. Tuesday is also Juneteenth, a celebration of the end of slavery, and just 2 days after the third anniversary of the racist attack by a white man who killed. Oh, so Mother Emanuel is in where are we talking about? South Carolina, South Kakalaki, South Kakalaki. I did not know that. Hey, Rafia. Hi, Rafia. How you doing? Welcome. I don't think I've seen you before. They say we here apologize for the wrongs committed against African Americans by the institution of slavery and Jim Crow, with sincerest sympathies and regrets for the deprivation of life, human dignity, and constitutional protections occasioned as a result thereof, the resolution reads. Oh. In the 1800s, this is Mother Emanuel Church, where the people were assassinated when they were at prayer. They were like doing a prayer service and somebody came in and shot them. In the 1800s, the church was closed after Charleston's white leaders thought church leaders had fostered a slave revolt. I think they did because Rafiki means friend. Does it? Please hit the like button if you have not already. Thank you, fam. Also, subscribe button and the bell if you're so inclined. I don't want their apologies for our ancestors' long, hard labor and our continued and ongoing oppression and abuse and enslavement and the continued exploitation of Africa. Al-Kibalan. Bella is focused. Yeah, she's almost as serious about her relationships with people as she is about food. Bella is on her job. Shoot, her job is trying to get them rubs and maintain her relationships with the people. He says that the resolution, one of the city council members, is more than just a soon to be forgotten vote. He promises that the city will support ongoing education about how slaves, why they say slaves, contributed to all parts of Charleston. We say enslaved Africans. A centerpiece of that effort is the International African American Museum. Listen, somebody had called into Al Sharpton's show and they were like, no black people say anything about reparations. And Al Sharpton is like, who are you talking about in particular? Because the Congressional Black Caucus talks about reparations. I talk about reparations. We out here talking about reparations. So what are you talking about? And I'm like, really? I was kind of surprised by that. You know, there's a channel out here, The Real Aaron Collins. I'm not subscribed to it, but I watch it sometimes for like 2 or 3 minutes at a time. It's like kittens. Like I saw them before their eyes were open, and it's really kind of boring to watch kittens when their eyes aren't even open because they don't really do anything but stretch and nurse and roll over. But and then there's and now they're bigger, so you could just watch cats, all the little kittens all the time. So they're trying to raise money for a museum. The museum will tell the history of African blah blah blah. Okay, so now we got a little information. Make us feel better. Are we happy now? But it was interesting. I got Charleston, South Carolina. South Kakalaki, and Mother Emanuel was there. See, I never put all of that together. And Mother Emanuel and the AME Church have a reputation, a history, most of them, of being pretty progressive. The FBI said I was my parents' stolen baby, but I found the truth. Did y'all ever see that movie? I think it was called Changeling. And the child was taken, and then they brought another child back, and they like, this is your child. And the mama is like, no, this is not my child. And then the FBI is like, you're crazy. This is your child. And it wasn't her child. And this is like what this story was like. Like the child was kidnapped at pretty close to birth. And then they brought back like a 4-year-old child, and it wasn't her child. And the child felt like all his life, like, he didn't quite look like his father or his brother. His family wasn't as close to, he just felt it. And so at some point as an adult, I can't remember. I think it was called Changeling. It was called Ling, but I think it was Changeling. No, I don't know. The Omen had a story like that. No DNA back then. So he got a DNA test, when he did have, when he did have a chance, and his parents were like, no, you're our child. We don't want a DNA test. Angelina Jolie. Yep, that's the movie, but I don't know if it was called Changeling. It seemed like it was something Ling. It might not, because they called him something and it was something Ling, but it wasn't it was something different. But so he got the test. He ended up finding his family. His family was like a mess. He had been a twin. They think that his sister was killed. He was found on the streets of New Jersey wandering around. That's when they were like, we think this is the missing child. And all they had was like a picture of the baby's ear. And they like, I think that's the same baby. And they like, well, the FBI say that's the baby. Then that's the baby. The FBI know. And then, so he found his original birth family, and he's on a mission to try to find, their original birth child. And he exhumed a body that he thinks might be his twin sister, and he's exhuming a body that he thinks might be their so he out here exhuming bodies and all of this other stuff. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting, especially because it was sort of kind of like the movie, although the child in the movie was much older. Musical about Michael Jackson heads to Broadway. Stop it. Y'all gonna go see the Michael Jackson musical? I mean, he got enough music to make a musical. I mean, and it's not gonna be funny. It's not gonna be funny. So we can't we can't go there expecting laughs. We can go there expecting good music. You going to the Michael Jackson musical? I don't know if I go to the Michael Jackson musical. No me interest. No me interesante. Who got the money? Oh, who gets the money? Oh, I don't know. Probably some Broadway producer. Maybe his family. I don't think I would be interested in that. July 20. Okay, wait, I guess I have to look at this Michael Jackson story to find out who get the money. The child grew up to have big breasts, says Ayapo. The Michael Jackson estate in Columbia Live Stage on Tuesday unveiled plans for a stage musical inspired by the life. So I guess that's who gonna get the money, the Michael Jackson estate, and then the other people and whoever else, you know, whoever else is involved. July 20th, 1943, the race riot broke out in Detroit. What I hate about the way that these stories are when they talk about like these race riots or whatever is that invariably I've started to notice this pattern that it's like it was black against white, but then when you look at the numbers of who was killed, it'd be like people were killed, you'd be like we're black, and it'd be mostly us. So it don't really seem like it seemed like we getting attacked and we fighting back, but the Caucasoids are always profiting off our black bodies, right? So June 20th, 1943, the Detroit race riot broke out in Detroit, Michigan. I'm from Detroit. And lasted for 3 days before federal troops regained control. The rioting between black and whites began on Belle Isle on June 20th, 1943, and continued, killing 34 people. Of them, 25 were African Americans. So rest in peace to all of the people who made their transition during that event. I bet you it wasn't a riot. I bet you it was a massacre. I don't really know what the backstory is. We need to retaliate when one of us is killed. Michael Jackson wanted white people to have his money anyway, so never mind. Well, them children, can't nobody tell me they race riot. It was a freaking massacre of black people, nothing less. Exactly. Can't nobody tell me that them white children of Michael Jackson's are his biological children. I mean, I know there's like a whole range of possibilities when people have, but that's definitely a wealth transfer. He done took his money and he gave it to whoever them white people are. I mean, yeah. And that's right. That's how he wanted it. Becky saw what black man built us, and 17 were killed by the police, and 13 murders still remain unsolved. Wounding 600 is a lot of people, and destroying property valued at $2 million. In the summer of 43, in the midst of World War II, tensions between blacks and whites in Detroit were escalating. Detroit's population had grown by 350,000 people since the war began. The booming defense industries, he wanted to erase his blackness from his legacy. We be in so much pain and distress about, our blackness. Like, that's like our strength and our beauty. And we just, it's been a concerted effort. It's not like it's something that just happened, like we slipped and fell and we're like, oh, we hate our blackness. But it's the secret. It's the thing that you despise the most is your greatest strength. If you can, when you figure it out. Booming defense industries brought in large numbers of people with high wages and very little available housing. Yeah. In recent years, 50,000 blacks and 300,000 whites had arrived, mostly from rural Appalachia. Chasing whiteness always leads to a dead end. 400 years of propaganda. Right. Chasing anything that's not you. I mean, just it's a recipe. It's not a good recipe. Don't make it. Switch out the ingredients and make you another recipe. Don't go that route. Ethnic groups were pressured to resent African Americans, especially a historian of Detroit's Poles, as in Polish people, white as death, black as life, found that they were scared into seeing African Americans as threatening their jobs, homes, communities, and churches. We're so very scary. Recruiters convinced blacks as well as whites in the South to come up north by promising them higher wages in the new war factories. Now, this is something I didn't really understand about Detroit history. I always thought of like the auto industry, but there has just been wave after wave after wave of industry in Detroit and just thriving and thriving. It's really kind of interesting. Because it's the same conversation you could have about the auto industry. They were excluded from public housing except for the Brewster projects, forced to live in homes without indoor plumbing, paid rents, blah, 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 blah. Protests over projects. The Detroit Housing Commission on June 4th, 1941, approved 2 sites for defense housing projects, one for whites, one for blacks. So they made two housing things. One was supposed to be for black folks, one was supposed to be for white folks. I guess that then they decided to take the one that was for the black folks and give it to the white folks. So the black folks were like, oh, that's some bull. And then there was a cross burning near the homes. 120 racist whites vowed to keep out any black homeowners. I'm not going to read that, but yeah, there's been a strong KKK presence in Detroit throughout, like, like just a strong, like, I guess I always think that there's like this idea that like, oh, the South is so the South is so, racist, and that the KKK is like a Southern thing, but like or slavery is Southern or whatever, but like it's not historically accurate. It's propaganda. It's bull. Racism, slavery, all of that stuff is like all this whole country. Even if, even when you're not directly participating, they're all over the place. Even when you're not directly participating and you're benefiting, that's just, to me, is tantamount to the same thing. Maidi Norman rewrote lines to eliminate old slavery time talk to give the role more dignity. She's an actress and other things. I'm from Philly, and Pennsylvania is the most racist state in the union. Right. And what we get is that like Philly is like supposed to be like the seat of freedom, the seat of the American Revolution. Even some people say like like I was listening to a thing the other day, and they were talking about how like the biggest and first and most well-established community of free blacks was in Philly, and Jilly is from Philly. I like Jilly from Philly, if that counts for anything. Philly's supposed to be the city of brotherly love. But it's like the country is so racist and jacked up and backwards and dumb that it's like all over the place. The country, and I guess parts of the world too. Oh, you from Philly. You like Jilly from Philly? And we did, and they hit it. Oh, all of America is racist. We did it, and they hit it. That's like a column, I guess they have. Oliver Toussaint Jackson's ambitious venture that established African American town near Denver, Colorado. Anybody know about Oliver Toussaint Jackson and his town near Colorado? We might have to loop back to that next year. Canada. Everyone loves Jill Scott. Canada legalizes recreational cannabis use. The Liberty Bell, city of brotherly love. Get out of here. The hypocrisy. Canada legalizes recreational cannabis use. So I don't know what happened. I mean, I saw the headline, but I'm like, oh, what's going on? Oh, I was listening to something, and they were saying they hadn't determined if the legal age for smoking was going to be 18 or 19, but they didn't want to make it too high up because they don't want to there are so many things we don't know about the West. And there was a huge movement of black folks out West. They don't want to make it where it's like a black market where the kids are trying to get weed, so they want to make it like the legal age low. So I think it's legalized, but like the logistics of implementation have not been worked out yet. I don't know. World Cup, Japan fans impressed by cleaning up stadium. So what, after the game they cleaned up the stadium? That seems so interesting. Like, I guess it's a very polite and clean culture, and so that's how they roll. They like, we ain't gonna come, and some Philly is full of otherly love because it ain't nothing at all brotherly about it. I experienced that firsthand in 2006 when I visited. You just visited. Jill Scott tried to do some community work by marrying that man. Because some fans, when they leave, they don't have no kaumba. They don't leave the place better when they leave. They leave it worse. They be tearing stuff up, burning stuff down, jumping on cars, and just carrying on and acting foolish. The Japanese are like, that's not how we roll. When we come in here, we gonna leave stuff in neat and orderly and decent. You'd be a fool to fall for their tricks. I don't know what tricks. I just like that line. You'd be a fool. Girl on Fire. That white guy was eating boo boo. Who was eating boo boo? Ew. Girl on Fire, Kenya Schoolgirls Alicia Keys cover becomes a viral hit. Have y'all heard it? I hadn't heard it. That girl is on fire. But she was a cute little girl in the picture. Let me see if I can get her image. Everybody likes a cute little girl, right? Okay, we'll come back to her. Indonesia Lake Toba, nearly 200 feared dead after ferry sinks. So prayers out to those people in Indonesia. Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Look at the baby girl. That little girl is on fire. I don't know her name. A video of a 13-year-old Kenyan schoolgirl. Oh, her name is Gracious Amani singing "This Girl is on Fire" by Alicia Keys has become a viral hit on social media. All right, I remember that, Sonia. That was after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. There are black people in Indonesia. All right. Are there? Are they melanated or are they African? I mean, everybody is African descendant. But see, some of these people, I don't know. I missed that. Oh, the little girl, dang. I don't know if this is coming off the BBC. It plays funny on my phone. But look for and find it and see if we should all watch it. Highly melanated Asians. Right, that's what I think. But then the Asians, to me, some Asians look like the people in South Africa, like the original people in South Africa with curly hair. Like tightly curled hair, or like what y'all call curly hair where it's like straighter. I don't even understand that concept when people are, yes, tightly curled hair. Okay, so prayers out for the people on Lake Toba that, even though people are feared dead, that, more people will be alive and thrive than, they thought. Caseworkers are desperately trying to help the kids separated from their parents. I don't believe that, but many are so upset they can't talk or are too young to speak. I believe that there's like a whole industry down there and people are making money. I feel like the caseworkers, maybe they don't know that they're part of a system, but these nonprofits, like all of these people are down there making money off of the misery and the destruction and the demoralization and the traumatizing of, children and people. Like that's what they do in this country. So yeah, so the children, they can't, they can't get the counseling because they too upset to talk and they too young to speak. New York City mayor changes marijuana policy. The original people of South Africa are the real melanated Africans. Changes marijuana policy to reduce arrests of people of color. 9 surprising things you didn't know about Japan. Well, one thing we didn't know is that they would clean up after a World Cup game. I mean, who does that? That's the thing about the World Cup that's kind of interesting to me. I haven't watched it, but it's like, it's people from all over the world. Because remember when we were getting set up and they were like, who was it? They were like, do not bring your lucky goats to the game. And I'm like, who brings a lucky goat to the, remember that? Go to hell, soccer. The San people gave Chinese people their face, right? The San people are the people in South Africa. So Japan might just surprise us all around. But I just think the World Cup, like all the little headlines that are coming out, I'm like, what in the world is going on with the world? It's anything goes because it's all over the world. Lucky goats. Don't bring your lucky goats to the game. Not to this game. Your regular game in your community. I know y'all used to bringing your lucky goats. But this the World Cup. Don't leave your lucky goats like the animal. Leave that at home, or we gonna have a lucky goat, standing station or something. A closer look at BlackBerry's Key 2's new dual camera. I don't care nothing about the dual camera, but what I am excited about is maybe the time that my phone dies, my BlackBerry, that there will be another BlackBerry on the market that I can purchase. I mean, because my phone is she on her, or he is on its last. I don't know if it's on its last legs or not, but I know, I've had this phone for 20 years. It's not gonna last forever. But I'm just so excited. I want to get another BlackBerry. I like the name, first of all. That goat gonna wind up on somebody's grill. Keep playing. They like, no, this is my lucky goat. I guess if they lose, yeah. Okay, Homeland Secretary Kirsten Nielsen booed at Mexican restaurant. I think this is like over the whole, can you hear the children crying? Boo, get out. Y'all are boo boo. Y'all are like low quality, low vibration piece of boo boo people. I think I would like to try goat and camel. Oh, to eat it. Interesting. Did y'all see? I saw some, I think it was goat yoga that the people are doing, and I saw it on one of the shows. I'm like, I don't know why the hell people would do, was it goat yoga? It's something kind of, they got animals on them, and the animals are using, yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you, August Dreams. The animals were using the bathroom on the yoga mats. That's what the story is. There's the key two, and there's already a key one out, but I didn't buy the key one because my classic is still functioning. So I don't see the, I don't, if it worked, why am I gonna get another one? I could never eat camel. Too lumpy. Google Podcast is pretty basic. It's pretty. Oh, it's pretty but basic. Oh, that's how you could describe some people. They pretty but basic. Man, just be quiet and look good. Don't just be quiet. You may be able to get a BlackBerry for $19.99. You mean crackberry? I know it's like crackberry. I like my BlackBerry, and I do act like I don't know, but I don't want any other phone. So I'm excited about the key one. Rats blamed for shredded banknotes inside Indian ATM. Oh, Anthony Bourdain made that camel look good. So the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, right? I don't know if that's true. Because when I go out and I pick, y'all know it's the season now for mulberries, and so sometimes the like it's one tree where the berries get very very black, but they're on the tart side. They are not sweet. And then there's a whole variety of mulberries here that are like blush colored or variations of blush, like where when they're fully ripe, they're like my raspberries are ripening, exciting. But when they're fully ripe, they're like this, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like you can look and you can tell they're ripe because they kind of like shine. But they very, very light skin. They like white, pink, not they like white, you know. So I don't know. Akon is launching a crypto coin, building a city, and he wants to take on Trump, Kanye in 2020. So Akon is like a musician or a singer or something, right? Sound like he out here trying to do something productive. Do you make jam? Raspberry jam. They say I had somebody last year who was trying to get people to come get them raspberries. I guess once they get going and get settled, I ain't trying to eat nothing that can spit on you. A camel. Burned remains found on rural Texas property may be missing family. Suspect held at $1.5 million bail. Senegalese immigrant. So I'm not sure what this is. It's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. I don't know if the property owners were black or white. If the family is black or white, I assume there's somebody black in the mix because it's coming off of Atlanta Black Star. So if you want to research the story and let a sister know, I would be slightly curious, probably, possibly a little bit, un poquito now with my raspberries, but I have some strawberries and I want to try my hand at jam. Akon is a singer. I do believe he's from Senegal. Oh, Senegalese immigrant. You were talking about Akon. Ooh, Senegal. Jay-Z and Beyonce. Forgot about Africa. Love and hip hop star Tokyo Vanity receives praise from fans after she opens up about her sex life and childhood trauma. A lot of these people that we see out here, like we talk about Nina Simone, a lot of these people, a lot of us are in pain and have been traumatized in various ways, sexually, emotionally, spiritually. I don't feel like there's anything more important than, our healing. And I feel like a lot of us are traumatized. So it's really, I guess I know we watch, I don't know who Tokyo Vanity is. I don't really watch Love and Hip Hop, but I know we watch these shows to like laugh at people or criticize people or, why they doing that or whatever. But, we're just in like a lot of pain and distress. So I always like when there's, kind of a mention and a dealing of like real things that real people are dealing with. All Black people have been traumatized in some way, not to mention genetic memory, which is real, right? I feel like it's layer upon layer upon layer, of trauma. So yeah, so prayers out, to Tokyo Vanity. What kind of name is Tokyo Vanity? And to all of us as we deal with and work through, layers of trauma and work too, just increasing joy and love and peace and happiness and, all of that stuff. Chicago paramedics under fire after placing white sheet over shooting victim who was still alive. So we talked about this in the headline that we saw later, which we talked about earlier. They said that it was a teenager and that he later died in the hospital. So again, prayers out to that young person and his family and community and to all of us. Chicago, they be doing the most. Yeah, it's terrible, and it seemed like Chicago has some. Mm. Juneteenth, freedom's promise is still denied to thousands of Blacks unable to make bail. So I'm assuming that this article is like Juneteenth. What we got freed on, and when we get free, freedom is still denied. Ratchet ass names. Freedom is still denied to thousands of Blacks unable to make bail. I mean, I feel like you could just, it's all kinds of stuff going on where, we continue to be enslaved. So prayers out to all of us as we work, struggle, fight, live for freedom, minute by minute, day by day, second by second, hour by hour, week by week. Give us free. And we say that to ourselves. You say it to yourself, give us free. Give us free. Give us free. Okay. Dang. I turned the air off. I turned the car off and I'm like, it's like the temperature just, it must be humid. Put some fresh air on the subject. Can y'all hear the lawnmower going? Is that too loud? Tokyo is a musician and she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta this year. Okay. Did you get any rain that way? I don't know. It seemed like it might have been raining last night or something. I'm not really sure. Or maybe this morning. No, it was raining this morning because I couldn't take my dog out for a walk, Bella. And then I took her when I went to lunch. I walked her before I went to lunch. Okay. Singer versus Bozeman backs up Wale's claim that skin color plays a role in an artist's success. U.S. apologizes. Give us free. Give us free. Us we free. You free. I give you free. I authorized it. Use free. I done wrote the freedom papers and put the seal on them, and it's a done deal. U.S. quits biased UN Human Rights Council. So I wasn't listening actively, but I was listening passively to a share that free reparations. The media is casting the spotlight on Chicago and making it something it's not. However, Chicago didn't even make the top 100 most deadliest cities. They love shitting on my hometown. More apologies. How about just not more effing up? Right. Dang, I was about to say something. Also, the UN. So I was passively, I didn't listen. I want to go back and listen to it. So this is a reminder to African Esquire. She was talking about the UN, the US leaving the UN. If Black people celebrate Cinco de Mayo, we should have a Juneteenth celebration, in my opinion. You've never been, I've been to several Juneteenths. They even had they had Juneteenth celebrations in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Now I know if they celebrate in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, I'm trying that Hattiesburg is regressive. Have y'all ever heard that song? I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke. I ain't saying that Hattiesburg is regressive, but I'm just saying if they had Juneteenth in Hattiesburg, I mean, where you stay at? Y'all don't have Juneteenth celebrations? I haven't been to one in years, and I'm sure somebody did stuff here. What? Philly does nothing. Most people have never heard of it here. Maybe because Hattiesburg is down south, maybe they do it. But in Detroit, I mean, I feel like I've heard of Juneteenth. But that's interesting. Yeah, I feel like we should at least have a conversation about it. When I lived in Dallas, they celebrated Juneteenth in Texas, usually in Texas. Mm. Yeah, I never lived in Texas, but I've been to Juneteenth stuff. I don't know if I've been all my life, but it seemed like I've been aware of it, you know. So African Esquire did I heard of it a few years back, Claude Anderson. So that's interesting. Maybe it's just here recently coming into people's consciousness. I don't know. I have to think about when I first heard about it. Say. Um African Esquire did a share on the US leaving the UN Human Rights Council. She started it off with a piece with Malcolm X. It was a video of Malcolm X when he was sort of talking about not framing our situation and our struggle and what we're dealing with as an issue of civil rights, but in the context of human rights. And, we might know or we may not know that he was involved with taking the case of Black folks in America to the UN Human Rights Council, which had a different name at that time. Hey, love like the sun, peace. Saying, like just this is a case of genocide, and we need some reparation. It's subjective stuff. Every gay society leads to more debauchery. Girl, well, I missed something. Um, so I didn't hear her share, so I can't say, "Ooh, I recommend it," but I'm gonna go back and try to listen to it again. So but one of the things that I did casually hear her saying, which I kind of disagreed with, she's like, well, if the US is not in, or what I heard her say is, if the US is not in the UN, hey COG, if the US is not in the UN council, then who gonna check the US on very janky butted, human rights violations? This administration, like, I don't know, like, there might be, I would love to see somebody write about it, and I don't know if I would read it. Maybe I need to spend my time reading other things, but I feel like they did an excellent job of Blackish explaining Juneteenth. Cool. I'm in Gray's Ferry. um but like, I feel like if this is not the most regressive administration in this government, regressive budget government, I don't know who is. Because it's like anything that's remotely progressive, he like, in anything that could benefit Putin and demoralize and alienate the United States from their allies, which are not necessarily my allies, but like America is just out here butt out now. Like, I'm just like, it's just thing after thing. It's like, it's deep, but I don't know if I feel like, I guess we were talking earlier about Jefferson Beauregard Sessions possibly getting kicked out of the Methodist Church or whatever church family he belongs to. So I kind of feel like, should you kick them? Is it good that they not on the UN Human Rights Council? They, as in the United States, because I feel like, is there anything progressive about like who, like the United States shouldn't talk to nobody about no human rights violations or nothing like that. They should just be quiet. The Russians are here to stay. No more anti-communism talk. It'll be interesting to see if it would fly. They Pride Parade the same day as something this year. Yeah, so I feel like the US quitting the council, like, was being on the council making any difference for me and my people? I I don't. I would entertain an argument, but I don't think so. City where many enslaved Africans, black at you, good brother. Oh, back at you. Oh, but I like that. Black at you. Right, black at you. That's what I'm gonna start saying if I remember. Right, black at you. We already read that article about the city where most enslaved Africans. The Australian town that killed its residents. Why was Oladun Day so early this year? The hypocrisy of this country is monumental. This is Black Music Month, but the gays took it for themselves. Wasn't Bonafide 1970 talking about Oladun Day? So y'all must be in the same region of the country, maybe. So I don't know how this town killed their residents and why. Why, town? Why? Do not kill us. Let us live. Oh, well, you won't be able to see it unless you go to it. This is the Australian town resident. has lost most of her family because they Noom, the town in Western Australia, sprang up around a blue asbestos mine. It's the asbestos in the 50s, but many in were unaware that asbestos fibers can cause lung disease and cancer. Hundreds, possibly thousands of residents have since died from exposure to asbestos. The mine closed in 1966, but the town is still polluted and is almost completely abandoned. Yeah, that asbestos, the remediation or so-called remediation, I don't trust it. I don't believe it. It's a mess. It's a mess. And those little bitty fibers, they like plastics. They like all over the place. They in your hey, Rowdy Chica. They all over the place. It's like that asbestos. That's some jacked up skit right there. I mean, among other things, but yeah. Okay. The Trump administration has been sending babies and toddlers to tender age shelters after forcibly separating them from their parents with asbestos insulation. FEMA made housing. Okay. Be right back. Here's why you should watch Love Is on OWN. I've been wanting to watch it and I haven't sat down to try to watch it. It's like a half-hour show. The people who did Being Mary Jane, I think they did Girlfriends. I think they did, oh, they did The Game. Does anybody remember The Game? I used to love that show, The Game. I don't believe the hype about those kids. Yeah, so this is like a TV show about how they met and their romance and their story. So I don't have cable. You're probably not missing anything, but I want to see it because it looked interesting. And I think one of the actors, I've seen him on YouTube, the main actor. I think I know him initially from YouTube, but now I'm not sure because I've seen him so many other places. More deaths in cable is unnecessary. More deaths, and is it unnecessary because TV is unnecessary? Would you review it? I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I should watch a couple episodes and decide. You only need internet. I was going to watch a couple episodes and decide, but then it's like my schedule has been so weird that I haven't had, I haven't even watched it. Bella the dog, Bella Catella, Bella Rooski, Bella Roo. Bella. You only need internet. More deaths in Nicaragua, violence as talks collapse. So I'm not sure what's going on in Nicaragua, but prayers out, to the people. It's like it's so much violence, so much violence in the world. Is that a song? Like a Marley song? So much sun. I don't know what the song is. Love is probably a knockoff of Love from the African Channel Network. As long as it's our love, we're celebrating. It's all good. I'll check it out. They've made great shows. I'm back. I just had to win an eBay auction. I won, of course. Stop bragging, Rowdy. I am a queen. Yes, you are. Yes. Queen Sugar tonight. You talking about OWN? Queen Sugar tonight. What's the other one with the religious people? Greenleaf. I like that. Now what I didn't like is they did another thing on Love before, and it kind of started stressing me out at one point when, like, at first people were like just talking about their relationships and it was really interesting, and then at one point somebody on Twitter pointed out like all of the women were like long suffering, getting dogged out, and but they just stuck around, and I'm like, so that, I forget what that was. It wasn't called Love Is, but it was something. But this Love is a Greenleaf. I like Greenleaf. This Love is like a I really like is it Lady Eve, the first lady? She's so evil. And then I saw this thing where T.I., speaking of Green Life, Bob Marley tone, so much trouble in the world. Now see, the thing about some of Bob Marley's songs I don't like is I don't like to be singing "It's so much trouble in the world," because that's not good for my spirit. I want to be like, it's so much wonderfulness in the world. A lot of his songs I have to like, is that the one with the three little birds outside my window singing? A lot of his songs I kind of edit. Um, so yeah. But Love is scripted. It's not unscripted. And it's scripted by people who, they write. So I'm like, and I like some of their shows. And I like the idea that they're like a couple writing. So I need to watch it. I need to watch it. I'm gonna add that to my list. So prayers out for Nicaragua till somebody come back and knock you upside your head. Nobody's I reject that. Shake Shack replacing minimum wage workers with self-service kiosks. This is not really a surprise to anybody, to me, to anybody who's been paying attention. The NFL's new, so I don't, yeah. And then don't worry about a thing. Every little thing's gonna be all right. But I always say every little thing is already all right. Like I edit it. But I really do like Bob Marley's music theoretically. It's just the lyrics. Peace, Aviator 80. Violence is not the answer. Starting to buck Ayapo. Is the NFL's new partnership with Howard University doing double duty? Propaganda. Tap. What does this mean? Libyan coast guards paid to protect African migrants sailing across the Mediterranean filmed beating them instead. I love your spirit. Oh, bless you. So, some Libyan coast guards, the coast guard, they done paid the people. Okay, I'm gonna pay you to, protect this dog, protect the dog, and then they got me on film beating the dog. I'm gonna protect you. I'm gonna pay you to protect these people. We not even talking about a dog. Oops, I'm sorry. Look, I done knocked the dog over. She ain't a child. I'm sorry, Bella. We not even talking about animals. We talking about people. So you paid to protect the people, and then you out here beating them instead. And if nobody had caught it on film, who would know? Did we know before that it was caught on film? It's always good and will be timeless. Chitlin butter biscuit cocktail topped with watermelon seeds for you, Iapo. Iapo. So anyway, vulnerable people are vulnerable. I guess to predators and stuff like that. Tap tap. I don't know what it means. Vulnerable people are vulnerable, I guess, to predators. Like, I guess if you're not a predator, vulnerable people are not vulnerable around you. But so just people who are migrants in a desperate situation. um Gone ahead, Bojangles, are just vulnerable. So shame on anybody who would take advantage of someone's vulnerability. Just shame on you. You should be embarrassed. And let us all do better and be more honorable and be better people. Let this inspire us to be stronger and better and to do better. I'm very distracted by what's going on. I'm gonna have to ignore y'all. I'm ignore y'all. Y'all tap 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 dance away. Boogie fever. Is that what you got, August Dreams? Okay. If that's like more than, that's 4 times a lifetime. That's a long time. That's a lot to conceptualize. But in the whole scheme of things, it's a small amount of time. Shame on them for taking advantage. So what would be the entire white nation? Shame on them for taking advantage. I don't know. Just a damn shame. Just a mess, you know? And creating vulnerabilities. It's a blessing to be African. Oh, Lola Falana said that? That's so true. She was so wise. I don't know nothing about her. Was she a singer or dancer? Lola Falana. She sounded like she was like a, Zsa or Va Va Voom or something. I think I saw her in a film or something. 70s superstar. Oh, it seemed like this film might have been a little older than 70s. Superstar. We love a superstar. Yeah, Lola was my first crush. She ruled Las Vegas. Ooh. We're not coming for crumbs. Spotlight on venture capital. Prayers to all the African people around the world and their mental health and well-being. Maybe Josephine Baker. She was a gorgeous entertainer. Fred Sanford loved her. Fred Sanford, the character on Sanford and Son? Was Fred Sanford a real person, or was that a character on Sanford and Son? I'm coming to join you. Wasn't that Fred Sanford? Red Fox. Oh, Red Fox with two X's and two D's. Um, we're not coming for the crumbs. Yes, she was on an episode. Red Fox. Spotlight on venture capital and Chinedu Inekwe. Lena Horne was Fred Sanford's girl, though. So I like that. I don't know. This is some venture capital firm. I don't know who this person is, but I like that attitude. Like, we not just trying to survive, we trying to thrive. I'm not coming for the crumbs. I'm here for the whole feast. You know what I mean? So I just like that headline. We not coming for the crumbs. But I wish it was like, we coming for the full meal. Let's affirm what we're coming for. Let's state that. Let's not talk about what we not doing, what we gonna do. What you here for? Not what you not here for, what you here for. Go ahead, Fred Sanford. Fred Sanford was Red Fox's real life brother. Was the character named after his real life brother? Or are you saying that we thought Red Fox was the actor, but it was really his brother? What you talking? What you talk? What you talk? What you talk about, Willis? Yes. Um. Okay, so we don't know who this Chinedu Inekwe is, but yay for the spirit and heart and a little gumption or a lot of gumption. School once named after Confederate general to be renamed after Barack Obama. Naming is important. When you go to these schools, it was based off of his brother. Oh, interesting. What's so interesting? Yep. And one episode had Desmond Wilson calling himself J. Rue Perriot. That was his actual name before he changed it. I don't even know those people. Who them people is, Harpo? Who them is? School. So yeah, these names are important, and knowing who these names are. But even when you don't know the name, you're calling up the vibration. So like, when you say like the school I went to was called Cass, and I just learned it's called Cass Technical High School, and I just learned here recently, dang, he had a better real name. He should have never changed it. Desmond Wilson, J. Rue Perriot, Perriot. It's like every time you say a name, you bring up that vibration. It's like they say, as long as somebody says your name, then you never die. Perot. Oh. Red Fox was real life friends with LaWanda Page, Whitman Mayo, Della Reese. I heard of Della Reese and Donald Bexley. He got them all on Sanford and Son. Yeah, I think I only know Della Reese because of who's in charge of the girls. I am in charge of the girls, and I only really know who's in charge of the girls because of YouTube reviews. And one of the reviewers is always like, "Who's really in charge of the girls?" And then when she made her transition, and I saw the footage, I'm like, I remember that. Now I know what the reference was to. But I didn't know all those other names. I don't know them people. It's very sad. But speaking of names, we got to say the names of our people. We got to say the names of the people who played Rolo. He was my favorite character. LaWanda was really blue. We got to say the names of our people and the people we want to celebrate and the people who we admire and the people we respect. Hey, True Royal family. If we're not saying our names, who gonna say them? We got to carry that legacy on, So I feel like even if your school is named whatever, I feel like we could just stop saying that name and say something with a better name than Obama. You shot me in my pinky toe. I'm in charge of the girls. I'm in charge of the girls. Cooperative communities keep Spanish seniors cared for. It was something about that story, but now I can't remember, and we so late. Sway gets torched for pulling an All Lives Matter on song about black women. I tried to watch the little interview. I saw it come across my Twitter feed. It seemed like it was a couple few days ago, but I got distracted and didn't watch it. But it seemed like he was basically like, oh, you wrote a song saying that Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Habaragani, Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Dang, and that little essay, I feel like I need to read that essay off to the side. Probably I need to just read one paragraph instead of trying to read the whole essay, because it was a lot to absorb. It was meaty. It was well written. I think I'm impressed. But so Sway, I'm not really quite sure who he is. He looked vaguely familiar, but I don't know him. But basically somebody wrote a song being like, did some serious buck dancing for Becky. Somebody wrote a song being like, yeah, black women are cool or whatever. And Sway is like, well, why are you just saying black women? Why not all women or whatever? I don't know. Right. Some dumb skit. I don't know what these people be on and why. I guess some of us are just so deeply indoctrinated and just so lost that, we just grinning coons. We just deep in it. Like, somebody throw him a lifeline. I hope he got a mother who can pray and somebody who praying for his behind to get some freedom, to get some relief. Cause it ain't never good to hate yourself, bruh. It's not sustainable. It's not going anywhere. Didn't know he was like that. I don't know anything about him, but I saw it going on Twitter. And if yeah. Oppo's off-screen Find X hides a pop-up selfie camera. So how you can tell, like you can see the camera on your phone. He has a black daughter. Yeah. Prayers for her. He was buck dancing heavy for Becky. Prayers out. Yeah. So how you can usually see where the camera is, but this phone, they want it to be off screen. So it's like embedded in the actual screen somewhere. So you can't really see it. It's just there. Got to go, me and Mr. Santana. Wow. Okay. NBA player Sterling Brown announces lawsuit against Milwaukee police and city for violent arrest. So we saw that. So this is just the progress of that story. He's announced the lawsuit. China's raining seafood, like literally raining, like how they say it's raining cats and dogs. Well, it's raining like crabs and lobsters there. Maybe she should be nominated. Maybe he should be nominated for a Coon Train Award. It's the Coon Train. Hey, may I ask, why was the color purple so important or made to be so important? What about it? Bye, Queen. Get that loving. Wow. Yeah. I don't know anything. I mean, I feel like we could have a whole conversation about the color purple, but, I don't know why it was made to be so important because of the lesbians, lesbos. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably missing the conversation. So it's raining crabs and seafood. I was gonna say crabs and chicken, but crabs and lobster or whatever. And it's something where like lesbozos. It's something where like it's like the you told Harpo to beat me. You told Harpo to beat me. You told Harpo to beat me. And the negative portrayal of black men, which Hollywood always loves. That sounds like the end of times. Yeah, it sounds like the end of times. It's some like sort of, I don't know if it was like I did read what it was, but it's like it's not really raining. Harpo is Oprah backwards. That's what her studio is named after, right? Harpo Studio. Is that right? I done lost my place. Alice Walker was a feminist. The color purple focused on degrading black men and promoted homosexuality. Yep. That's what somebody said. IC said, yep. My phone rang. Did I miss commentary? I was asking about your statement about the color purple, but people have typed in a couple of things. I don't know if I have anything to add to it necessarily. I don't think I necessarily agree with it, but I don't know. I didn't have that experience of The Color Purple. I read it and I watched the film. I've watched it twice. I think twice. I know a lot of people quote that film, and I hadn't seen it enough to quote it. But I didn't have that experience, but that doesn't mean anything. I never looked at it as promoting homosexuality. Three Times a Lady, Alice Walker was a lesbian. Um, yeah. So yeah, I didn't look at it as promoting homosexuality. I felt like there were some characters in the film that, but like all of the characters really seemed like, or when I think about it, it seemed like everybody was in so much distress. I didn't really feel, I don't know, I just felt like it was, I felt like it was a lot of distress in there. So yeah, yeah. It was one of the hidden messages. So it promoted homosexuality. You think the hidden message means that I became a lesbian, or it just increased the chances of, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's a whole, I see these comments and I just feel like it's like I can't, in this context, I don't even know how to have a conversation about it. Um, yeah. Because I actually find it very confusing. Um, So, I don't, yeah, look up social engineering and you'll understand. Okay. Okay. I don't know if I will, but I hear what you're saying. It's a classic, a must have in collections. What's up with that? I know that's right. Shug Avery was a lesbian in the film. She made passes at Sealy. Um, right. I remember that part, but I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, I feel like that's a whole conversation. Okay, let me see if I can figure out where I was. We're getting close. Getting close. We're getting close. And the black men were portrayed negatively. Do you think that there have ever been, hey, Marlowe's Corner, do you think that, like, if someone does something do you think that if someone does something shitty and you say they did something shitty, that's like negatively portraying them? Like, we actually had our own properties back then. That was a positive about the movie. Also, don't pretend some women in the past weren't abused, since many are abused now. So, I mean, I like salute kings and queens in the chat. I just feel like it's a whole, like, I don't know. I mean, because I do agree that, when you start looking at the pattern of certain things, it's like if every movie that's being made, movie after movie after movie after movie, is advancing a certain agenda and has certain themes, then I feel like that is something like, okay, you got to look at the agenda of who's making the movie. The Mr. character scared me. Um, but I also feel like if your ass is out here, beating and molesting people, and somebody say you beating and molesting people, is that my fault that you out here beating and molesting people? Am I negatively portraying yourself, or are you carrying yourself in a doo-doo kind of way? Not at all. However, when there are archetypes in place, that becomes a problem. Black men were portrayed as savage or weakling. Yeah. I mean, I'm always, I love a good think piece, and I love, some good analysis. I just, in this context, it's kind of like a lot to you know, Oprah ruined Beloved. Now, we're not gonna have this. I'm not no lover of Oprah, but we're not gonna have this turn into a promotes colorism. Let's not forget that Shuck first met Sealy. She said you show is ugly. Is that promoting colorism? I like that. I like balance in that movie. There was none. Or is that just a reflection that some people think that black people are ugly and dark skinned people are ugly, and that people who look African are ugly? I mean, I only watched the movie for entertainment purposes. I know that there were a lot of people who were upset about it. So I haven't really read any good analysis of it. I've read, since I watched Black Panther, I've read some good analysis of that. I might work Black Panther There's an event coming up, so it would be interesting to watch it again now that I've read and heard a lot of analysis. Like, I'm sure it's not going to seem as good to me. We'll chat about that at another time. We got way off topic. Okay. But I think biracials will portray us from now on TV and film. That's all. I'm always here to hear, different people's perspective and analysis, and because I feel like there is a lot of propaganda, there is a lot of agenda, like I'm not, so. But she was. Then Shug also helped her build her confidence, and she was not ugly, first of all. So I disagree with that. But I think that in certain contexts, a lot of people would perceive her as ugly. But no, if when I go back and look at the film, she was not ugly. She was an attractive. She's cute. She was very cute. She's cute. And I'm not a lesbian. I'm just saying she was cute. That girl was cute. Oprah is cute. She's cute now, even though some of the things she says are not cute. But Oprah is attractive. She looked like an African woman. Maryland woman accused of attacking white bus passengers faces 13-year. She was beaten down at the beginning and then transformed, and confidence made her beautiful. Maryland woman accused of attacking white bus passenger faces 13-year prison sentence. So, and then I saw that it was filed as a hate crime. This woman was like, oh, hell no. This woman is like, oh, y'all saying Oprah was ugly. I thought they were talking about the character of the main character who, when Shug saw her and said, you sure is ugly. And then by the end, she was more confident. She had a business. Yeah. Now, Oprah is one of those people who there's something called makeup artistry, and Oprah is one of, like, I love to play in makeup and color and all of that, but Oprah is one of those people who she ugly and dark skinned. She black and ugly. That's what they used to say, she black and ugly. Big old nose, big old lips. Ugh! That was Whoopi Goldberg. Right. She wasn't, but she wasn't. I just bought into the hype because I saw her through them eyes, and now I'm like, oh, that child. But Oprah, on the other hand, I'm not saying that she's ugly, but I'm saying that with the artistry of makeup, she looks really, really different when she has on makeup. And I never want to be one who says that, someone. Right, Shug was a drunk at the beginning. I never want to be one that says that somebody need makeup, because I don't necessarily believe that. But Oprah Winfrey looks very, very different with her makeup on than with her makeup off. So this woman on this bus, before she, according to the people in the story, she said, I hate white people. And then she started beating up these white people, or this white woman or something. So she's facing a 13-year prison sentence. It's like they don't have any trouble. Like when white people do stuff to black people and they be like, I hate black people. They'd be like, huh, was that a race crime? Was it what do they call it? A hate crime? I'm so confused. This child said, I hate white people. And they like, race crime, put her in jail. It's like no confusion, no confusion when it comes to us. All these laws they want to apply to us. Like, we the ones that need to get in line. Every once in a while you have, some black person who, some people might argue justifiably so, hates white people and want to lash out and beat some white people's behinds. I mean, I'm just saying, if you look at the history it's a surprise it doesn't happen more often, if you ask me. Because they've been lashing out at us and beating us. They are very offended if you don't love them. Right. I mean, generations, and just, they do anything to these. They don't do anything to these demonic cave crackers. So, anyway, that's what I thought was interesting about that. McDonald's is testing plastic straw alternatives as U.S. cities crack down on single-use straws. I know, bruh. Self-hatred is much embedded in us, and it's a damn shame. Yeah, we got to fight it. We got to fight it for in ourselves, and we got to fight it for each other. And when we hear people say stuff, we have to correct them. We have to pay attention to what we're thinking and how we're seeing and how what like how we're perceiving things and correct ourselves. We have to put out positive images. We have to big up ourselves. If we don't do it, nobody's gonna do that for us. We have to do that. And there's going to be plenty of stuff out here against us because they don't want us to love ourselves. They want us to be like, we just take whatever, just whatever you say, massa. Great hit according to Big Screen. Trump has totally released the crackers. The fragility of their egos is legendary. It's legendary. Okay. So no single-use plastic straws, which is good. The caucasity, shaking my head. A former sex worker who claims to have slept with 1 million men now thinks prostitution should be banned. It saddens me to see the girls walking. It saddens me to see the girls walking. It went away. I can't read the rest of the comment. But it started off so, I don't know, not poetic, but like something, it kind of drew me in, like, what? So, okay. Okay, so this person said they had sex with 1 million men. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of vibration. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot. With teensy tiny workout shorts and sports bras. Never spent a minute at the gym, just showing skin. That's pure Jamaican man. Love me some Stedman. Is Stedman Jamaican? That's raunchy. That is disgusting. I saw a black woman yesterday with a thin ass romper. She looked like Nell Carter. The only one I love before black people is God first because he's the creator and gave me life. Other than that, be one forever. Hey, Cian Lo. Dang, I can't stand it. It drives me crazy. I feel like I need to have a whole dinner time. Good night, everyone. Thanks for stopping in. What? That was the last story anyway. Mrs. Logan. So 1 million man, her coochie, that's a lot. I don't know, like when someone like, I don't necessarily believe in shaming people for their choices. But I generally feel like when someone chooses, oh, you'll take Mrs. Logan. Okay, good. Okay. That's okay. Yeah. Okay. When someone chooses to do that type of work, it kind of like, I don't want to say I give them the side eye, but I like give them like, I feel like my heart goes out to them. Like, I feel like, dang, if that's the choice you're making, that's kind of intense, especially for a woman, because I feel like women are receptive in general more so than men. So like to be in that type of work and what are you receiving is kind of like that's kind of intense. So for you to make that choice, that seems kind of intense to me. Now I know there are some people who are like, I just love sex and I love to do it, and I think that there may be some people who operate on that, but I feel like a lot of people in that industry are in distress. They're using drugs. Yay! I've been wondering if you got that package, so I'm glad you said something. I've been, people are in distress and using drugs and alcohol and all, usually like if you're doing something out of years of result of sexual abuse and low self-esteem, if it's like, I love it and it feels good, you're not like, I love it and it feels good, give me something so I can do this. It's like, if you love it and it feel good, then you just out here doing it. So, sex workers, send me a package, Angela. I know I need to do a giveaway. I doubt she's being honest. She's probably only been with half that. But shit, 500,000, that's a joke. 1 million men? Her nickname must be Grand Canyon. Yeah, and she says that she feels that prostitution should be banned. Where's my package? So yeah, I don't know. I just thought that I didn't really read low self-esteem girls love the attention of disrespectful, abusive men. LOL. So, and then I feel like I know, like, for example, in my family, there's this, or not, well, in my married family, there's this young woman who, well, it's a whole cycle of of young women. Um, I don't know, they just call her a former sex worker. They don't say her name. A former sex worker who claims to have slept with 1 million men now thinks that prostitution should be banned. Um, every child has to be treated differently. You can't have favorites, but you can't treat everybody the same way. I see. Dang, I was about to say something. Oh, dang, it was something somebody said, but now I can't remember. So I guess Bella, quit all that yelling in my ear. Go on somewhere. If she was a sex worker, she was putting in some hella overtime. And I was trying to figure out, when I first looked at it, I was going to try to figure out how many people per year. But then I just kind of got tired, and I just kind of left it alone. It was something I was going to say. I was talking about in my family. So it's like, it's this one little girl or young woman at the time. I remember that after 1 million men, damn, her nether regions. So she was like about 16. Yeah, I got tired just trying to think about it. I was like, oh my God. It kind of wore me out. I thought it kind of stressed me. Like, didn't the guy who got AIDS, who was the basketball player whose son is like flamboyantly feminine in his dress, rolling on the floor. ROFL, rolling on the floor laughing. I don't know. That's what I thought it meant, rolling on the floor laughing. I don't know. Um, Dang, I forgot what I'm getting so distracted. Yeah. So the child was 16 when she came to my consciousness. Yeah, rolling on the floor laughing. And she was like dealing with grown men, and the people were like, the other women were like, basically like, she's that fast tail gal, she's just fast. And I'm kind of like, why is she's dealing, like, grown men are dealing with her? Why are we attacking the child? Why, like, something's going on? Why, like, what's going on? Like, I felt bad for the child. And then it's like, when I thought about the whole family, it was like, that child was the child of a child who was the child of a child. Like, all of those, like, there was like a whole, like, it was about 4 generations of women who had basketball player HIV. Dang, what was his name? It was like 4 generations of young women who had children at like 15, 16. Um, and like, so I feel like to call the girls fast is like, there's a cycle, there's like a pattern going on, there's some issue going on. And then, like, for grown men to be dealing with 16-year-old girls, in a way, you look at a 16-year-old and they do sort of look old, and they do kind of want to be old, but like, I guess just for me, dealing with like with teenagers, like, they seem very young to me. That doesn't really seem, I don't, so yeah. Who was that? Who was there was some basketball player who was kind of, was it Magic Johnson? I think it's Magic Johnson, who, when he came out and said that he had HIV or AIDS or whatever, didn't he say that he had slept with 1 million people? Wasn't that Magic Johnson? Didn't he say that? Right. But a man having sex with 1 million women, and is that true? I mean, is it like, I don't even know if that's like a true number. That's what I was trying to figure out. I'm like, how you gonna have sex with 1 million people in a lifetime? That was Wilt Chamberlain. No, it was was it Wilt? Oh, maybe Wilt. But anyway, so I was trying to figure that out, and then I'm like, but even if 15 years, over 66,000 per year, so 66,000 per year is like 30,000 in 6 months. 30,000 in 6 months is like 10, 20, 30. That's like 10,000 a month. 10,000 a month is like 2,500 a week. Like, how that's not even possible. Right. I never understood. In a way, I do understand it, because I think a lot of us have been the victim, have experienced, dealing with creepy ass men. And also, when you deal with, when you've dealt with, when you've been, like if you've been sexualized young and had sex young, then you process stuff in a weird way. So you don't think of yourself as you be like, oh, I was fast, oh, I wanted it. A lot of times people, the way that women are looking at their relationships with older men when they were young, it's not it's because they were victims. It's not like from a place of sanity. So our analysis is off because we're in distress. um but yeah, you can't have sex with 2,500 people in a week. Is that what we came to? Something like that. That's not even, 500 people a day, 300 people a day. Yeah, I don't believe that story. I think that's an exaggerated figure. I don't think that that's possible. That don't even make sense. But anyway, that's it. That's the end. Roughly 1,300 a week. Well, 1,300 a week, that's like 200 a day, 100, 200 a day. I don't believe that's possible. How you gonna have sex with one? Must be with Minute Man. How you gonna have sex with 100 people a day? Just day in and day out and day in and day out. Maybe if it's like a really special day, I guess you could maybe fit it in, but I don't believe that story. That's not a credible figure. Maybe she was like, maybe she was like, how I'm like, oh, it was 8 million white women looking for attention with particular story. Yeah, and we just gave it to her. So anyway, that's the end. So what's new and good with you? What's new and good in your family, in your community, in your life? Didn't Nick Young recently get caught up with Iggy Azalea? You wouldn't literally have to have sex. You would literally have to have sex around the clock nonstop. Right. Wasn't he engaged to Iggy, to the white woman who was the singer, the rapper, and then his friend recorded him talking to his friend about like how he cheat on the white girl who's the rapper? And then that's how come they broke up? Or is this somebody new who recently got involved with Iggy Azalea? You say like it's a bad thing. Isn't that everybody's dream? I'm just joking. Okay, let me get off the phone because I'm not off the phone, but off the live because I'm hungry. So what's new and good? What's exciting? What's going on in your life? What are you looking forward to? Habaragani. Thank you. Hey, Stephanie, did I see you earlier? Habaragani. Collective work and responsibility. Nick Young was a Lakers player. I don't know nothing about them teams. I know LeBron James plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now that I do know. I don't know why, but I do know that. So yeah, so that's what I got. What y'all got? What's the good news? What's exciting? What's new? What we need to celebrate? Eh? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Queen Kendra, Magic Johnson. I'm a week ahead in my schoolwork. Whoop, whoop. Party over here. Whoop, whoop. End of school year. Whoop, whoop. Gotta check out some go. Go, 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 go. We gonna party over that? Get him, Bella. August Dreams. That's her boyfriend. She loved that both of them. And y'all can't see it, but she wagging her tail. I don't want her little tail touching me. She all happy. Go somewhere with that. All right. So blessings. Oh, you greeting everybody. Oh, you just jumped on? So if you that's a reminder. If you just jumped on or if you came on late, you can, once it loads up, you can Wilt Chamberlain. You can loop back around and watch the rest of the broadcast. Bella always got your back. Be fabulous, you. I don't know if Bella is that kind of dog. Because when some stuff went down, Bella went and hid. I'm just saying. I hate to tell y'all that. I'm just an employee of Bella. She ain't working for me. she just pays me dust, pays me nothing but waggy tail. Just try to tell Bella to keep it under 1 million, okay? Keep what under 1 million? All right. Be fabulous, you. So that's it. It's on purpose that we're here together, whether we're live or virtually together. She lied about it. It's a blessing, and you are blessed and a blessing. So remember that. You're the greatest. You're the number one stunner. So be you. Be fabulous. A true story about a Chihuahua that ran a bear off. Well, this dog is mixed. She not full-bred Chihuahua, so she might not have that running the bear off gene in her. The lies, the lies, the lies. What they say on Underground? You just lie, 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 lie. Hey, hey. Bella recognized the song. Be fabulous, you. By Sonia Seas. Be fabulous, you. Who you gonna be if you ain't you? Who you gonna be if we ain't we? Peace, love, and Yah's blessings, everybody. If you ain't you, be you. Be fabulous. Fabulous you. Peace. Thank you, Leotis. Be safe, family. Oh, wait, you have exciting news? Later, my melanated family. She's not full-blooded Chihuahua, so Trump can't deport her. Shoot, Trump, oh, he deport me. What's the good news? What's the good news? Peace and black love, family. That's your belly. She getting belly rubs. She's always on point. Love her live streams. Oh, thank you. I thought we were going to get some good news from Stephanie Gerald. What's up, Stephanie? Right. Represent myself in family court. I know, I'm waiting too. All right. So you represent yourself in family court. It was a good outcome. Awaiting Stephanie's news. Yay. Or was it just like, is it like sometimes just like the process of representing yourself or doing something for yourself? That's a good outcome just because you did it for yourself. So yay. 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 June 7th, 2018. Oh, okay. Yay! Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. You know that's as high as we can go. And then you can just multiply it by 33. So yay, congratulations. Thank you for sharing. Oh, so tomorrow I start my cleanse. It's going to be so exciting. By 33. Whoop, whoop. Go ahead. Whoop, whoop. Go ahead. Why 33? Because 33 is my favorite number. And by the time I get finished doing that, I'll be like, look, I got a little soreness on my arm right there from clapping. I got a clap injury. Yay for the cleanse. Oh, yeah, that's good news. It's so exciting. Drink more watermelon juice, family. Drink more watermelon juice, family. Yeah. Yay! Yay! All right. They got 2 big dogs coming down the street. I love watermelon juice. I like it when it's sweet enough that even when you put the rind in it, it's still good and sweet and tasty. Because they say that rind is good. They got 2 big Great Danes. All right, love y'all. Peace. Peace. Peace.